Well, good morning everybody, hope you're all doing great. Welcome to another video. Now then, if you go way back into the archives of my videos, I think it was one of the very first videos that I made. It's actually a video of me doing the Mount Robson Marathon, which basically runs right up to the back of Mount Robson, Berg Lake. Now, since that time, which was probably over 10 years ago now, I have, well, I put on a little bit of weight. I'm looking a little bit older. And actually last year was a bit of a milestone for me anyway. I just turned 60. Now you're probably thinking, well, what's this got to do with photography? Well, I'm not getting any younger. Now some of you that are watching will probably think that I'm a spring chicken. But for me it's really important to try and keep in shape so that I can go and do trips like I did about a month ago up in the Drakensberg. Now obviously I'm not as in good shape as I was 10 years ago, but I do still try to get out as much as possible, and every other day I try to go for a 10-kilometer run. So that's what I'm doing today. But I have a new product that I want to share with you that might be very useful to some of you. So let's just go up the hill here a little bit and I'll talk more about it. Now, before I share this new device with you, I have to set some parameters for myself. I need to compare it to something without the device. So what I've done is I've come up to an area called Notch Hill, which is in Nanoose, and it's around 3 kilometers long, the trail, 200 meters of elevation gain, which is quite a bit for such a small hill. And I'm going to see how fast I can do it without the new device, and then I'll try another round 3 kilometers with the device and see what the difference is. Some of you may actually recognize this tree here. This is from a video that I did some time ago, and I photographed many of the trees in here, the Gary Oaks and the Arbutus trees. Now originally I was thinking, well, maybe I'll run up the hill, but I don't think I will be able to run up the hill. I don't think I'm in good enough shape, but I'll see how fast I can do the whole trail. Okay, so some of you might be wondering, well, how am I going to film this if I'm timing it at the same time? My watch does have an auto pause, so every time I stop to film, then it will pause. So it's not a terribly scientific way of showing this new product, but it'll give me a good baseline of how it's performing. So if you're wondering what the new product is, it's called a DNSYS X1 Exoskeleton. So what exactly is the DNSYS X1? Well, the X1 is a wearable exoskeleton made to give your legs extra support for running and walking. It uses smart technology and powerful motors to help reduce the strain on your legs, so you can walk longer distances without getting as tired. Now, if you do want a tougher workout, the X1 can also add resistance, and ultimately that will help you burn calories. The device is fully adjustable and comes in 3 sizes to fit most people, and you can control the device with buttons on the actual belt, or you can download the DNSYS app and control it that way. The battery is built for long outdoor adventures, and you can quickly swap in a fresh battery if you happen to go on a much longer hike. The X1 is designed to adapt to different terrain and learns how you walk, giving you a smooth, natural assistance that matches your steps, and it doesn't get in the way of everyday movements like squatting or sitting. All right, so much for running up. Fast walk maybe? Actually, there was 2 reasons why I wanted to come up here, not only to try out the exoskeleton, but also check out some of the trees that I photographed in the past. This one in particular, I photographed these in the winter 4 or 5 years ago and got some really great conditions. The nice thing about the arbutus trees is that the bark as many of you know if you've watched my videos, bark has wonderful patterns and it changes year to year. So, you know, what I see right now, next year might be totally different. All right, it's all downhill from here on in, figuratively and physically. All right, I think this is steeper than the other side. Not great for your knees. All right, so my timing's going to be way off because I keep stopping, and even though it pauses, it's not a very good indicator. So what I'm going to have to do is, once I finish this trail, is just do it again, but without any distractions of camera and such, and get a proper time. I put a proper effort into it rather than just a half-assed effort with a camera. We're almost back. Some of you may recognize this tree. I photographed this tree quite a lot, but unfortunately one of the branches has fallen off. But I guess that's what happens in nature. Things come and go, just like people. Okay, so much to my chagrin, I had to redo the trail because my pauses while I was filming just wasn't a very accurate time trial. So I started right from the car and just went for it as fast as I could. I call it a run, but it was more of a fast walk. And in total it was about 2.86 kilometers. I'm not sure the elevation. I'll have a look when I get back home. It took me 28 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes with the exoskeleton and how much effort it takes. Now I'm pretty bagged, so I'm gonna get the exoskeleton out tomorrow and we'll repeat the 2 time trials and see how we make out. Okay, I'm heading back to Notch Hill in Nanoose, and I'm embarrassed to say that after yesterday going up the hill a couple of times, I'm quite stiff this morning, which is quite surprising because I have been running a lot lately, but it just goes to show that when you start using different muscles, especially for going uphill, then it can be a different story. Okay, so the only thing I have to figure out now is to remember how to how to put this thing on with all the adjustments. Once I figure that out, we can be on our way. Right, I figured out how to put it on. I'm sure I'm going to get all kinds of looks walking up this trail. Just turn it on, double click, kicks in, and then we have the adjustments on each side for resistance, and then if you want to get lots of help, then you can push this button. I think we'll start off at pretty close to not the highest setting, maybe just below the highest setting. Okay, you can hear the motors running, and it's a really strange feeling, but right off the bat, I must admit, I mean, I'm still getting out of breath, but nowhere near as much as I was yesterday. But we'll see how it goes as I get into the steeper sections. Actually, this is a really nice welcome relief because, as I mentioned, my legs were a bit stiff from yesterday, but it seems to be helping along a little bit. Maybe when I get to the steep section, I'll put it into the boost mode and see how well it does on that. This is quite exciting. All right, we're getting to the steep section. Let's put it in boost mode. I need a boost. Well, either I'm feeling much fitter today or this exoskeleton is helping out a bit, but I can really feel it lifting my thighs up. So it's just taking a bit of the extra weight off, and just not putting as much effort into it. Okay, I was having a hard time judging if this device is actually doing anything, because it's so subtle that you think, you know, it's not really doing much. So just to kind of see if it is doing anything, I've turned it off, and oh man, there is quite a difference. It's funny, I just didn't think it was really doing much, but yeah, there is definitely a difference. And we have made it to the summit. It's funny also, you can feel the motors kind of adjusting as you get to the flats as well. Like as I was going up, you could definitely feel a difference in the motors helping you up a little bit. And then as soon as you ease off, I guess because you're not working as hard, the motors kind of seem to kick off a little bit, so they're not working so hard. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So on the way down, I'm going to put the resistance on, which is the opposite, and see if that actually helps. So I'll do some without any motors whatsoever, and then we'll try it with the resistance and see, you know, if it helps with, or it could potentially help with fatigue in your legs, because that's generally where you get sore muscles, is when you're going downhill, especially in your thigh area. Okay, so I put it in resistance mode, and there is definitely a lot of resistance because I just walked up the hill with it on to set up the camera. But coming down, it's kind of a strange feeling. Again, it's kind of hard to know if it's making any difference until you actually turn the unit on, and then you can feel the difference. It's very subtle. All right, I've turned off the motors and I'm still walking down like a doddery old man. But yeah, there definitely is a difference. I think the resistance mode is probably more for not necessarily going down hills, although I find it could be quite useful. I think it's more if you're using this device for a workout, like if you're trying to create resistance while you're going running or up a hill. I think it'd be awesome for that. All right, I'm back at the car, and I just have one more thing to do now, and that's do a bit of a time trial. So I'm going to put my camera away in the car and see how fast I can do this and compare it to yesterday's time. Wow, I made it back, and it wasn't any less tiring than before. And you'll be surprised to know that it actually took me 1 minute longer to do it with the exoskeleton. So not a terribly scientific test. I think probably because I'm still knackered from yesterday, I don't know. It felt like I was going faster, but I guess not. It did feel much easier on the hills, that's for sure, especially the lower angle hills. I was actually running up those rather than just fast walking, but the steep hills are still exhausting regardless. Just takes a bit less pressure off your legs. So I have one more test that I want to do. I'm going to come back up here early morning, first light, and I'm going to bring my camera gear because I want to do a little test just to see what it's like carrying my my backpack.
Saw you paint a picture of a face, a face that wasn't even close to mine. I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's so hard to move on.
Oh wow, okay, I made it. I must admit that any help to get up that hill this time of the morning, I'm all for that. So this definitely helped getting up that hill. So you're probably wondering why I'm up here so early. Well, the obvious reason is that the light is hopefully a little bit better. Mind you, I can see the sun coming up behind the trees there, so I don't know how much of that nice light we're going to get. But I did want to get some photographs of some of these arbutus trees before the light got too harsh. And the other reason being is that I wanted to try this with a backpack, a photo pack. Now, with a larger pack, I'm not sure that this would work that well because the belt, it has to be quite sturdy and thick to accommodate the motors so you can get that torque off them. If it was a flimsy belt, then this thing just wouldn't work. Now, with a smaller pack, it does sit on top of the belt if I cinch it up. It's not ideal, but it seems to work okay. With my larger pack or a backpack for a multi-day trip, then it might be quite uncomfortable because the pack would be lower than the belt, so it'd be pushing into your back. So that's something to consider. But with this pack on, this small Shimoda, and I have all my camera gear in this that I usually carry, it works quite well. All right, I've ended up at this beautiful arbutus that I've been passing for the last couple of days. There's some lovely patterns in here, so I want to get some shots of that. But before I leave you today, I just wanted to kind of give you my thoughts about what I think about this device. Now, for me, going up the hills and using the different modes was really helpful, but I don't think I would purchase it for that. I would actually purchase this for the workout mode, and the workout mode is the total opposite. It actually gives you resistance, and I noticed some of the benefits when I was climbing up and down the hills, setting up the video camera. I wouldn't change the settings, so as I was going up the hills, I actually had a lot of resistance, and it's a really great workout. And actually, before I started this whole video series here, my partner Karen, she was using this for working out before we went to the Drakensberg, and that's what she was using it for. She would put it in the workout mode and then climb up a hill, and then when she got tired or started to get tired, then she would put it back into the normal mode so that it actually assists her as she went up the hills. So not only are you burning calories, but you're also getting a really good workout for your legs. Now, the other benefits I think for this device would be for those of you that might have some slight disabilities when you're walking, perhaps some arthritis or something like that. It's not going to make your legs all of a sudden bionic, but what it does do, it assists enough that it might take some of the pressure off some of the pain that you feel in your legs. Now, they don't advertise it as that, but I think it would really benefit people that just have a little bit of trouble walking. So those are kind of my conclusions. I think it's a pretty cool device. It was certainly a lot of fun coming up and down the hills here, and I did really notice the difference. It's still tiring, I'm still out of breath, but it did take a lot of that pressure off. So I hope that helps. If you're interested in checking this device out, I'll leave a link down below with all the information, and I guess I'll leave you with a couple of images from this tree. And until the next video, thank you ever so much everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. All right, bye-bye.
I'd give you the world like I promised.